Welcome to Independent Green Party Green New Deal TV, Green TV, the show that focuses on independent Green Party and Green Party candidates for state, local, and federal office, and positive independent Green Party, Green New Deal, eco-job solutions for the economy, solar jobs, wind jobs, geothermal jobs, rail jobs, conservation jobs, weatherization jobs, insulation jobs. With us on Green TV today, Terry Modglin, independent Green Party candidate for state Senate. Terry Modglin is a Vietnam veteran. Terry Modglin is a graduate of Georgetown University. And Terry Modglin, as mentioned, running for state Senate. Terry, thanks for being here, buddy.
My pleasure,
now,
Terry.
you have a message first you want to deliver right here.
I do.
It starts off with agreeing with, as Dr. Jill Stein says, it's in our hands.
That's right. The Green Party's Dr. Jill Stein is right. It's in our hands. As citizens, it is our duty and our responsibility as a means to preserve this republic and safeguard our democratic institution and protect our planet for future generations, to do the work of the independent Green Party. The Green Party works for our children, it's for our grandchildren, and it's for their children as well. I don't know if you knew, but already in Virginia, more people work in renewable energy than coal. Solar installations doubled in the last year. Green organic agriculture is growing, and growing fast. Best green practices preserving fertile arable land are increasing. Thousands of green businesses, millions of green scientists, engineers are finding innovative green solutions every day across this planet. They're making green profits and they're making green money. The green eco-capitalist revolution, folks, it's already begun. Human ingenuity is in harmony with the biosphere is the green profit-making future. The independent Green Party is right, and that's why I'm part of it. We can make Virginia and America great again for a new generation. With the Green New Deal, eco-jobs, the economy will grow business and the wealth of every American, every Virginian. Green growth, folks, is smart growth. Renewable energy is the cheapest to build. High-speed, modern, nationwide magnetic levitation rail, for example, would create 4 million jobs, 4 million jobs. The independent Green Party is for rail to Dulles and beyond. Build the Cameron Run Virginia Rail Express Station. Build the Potomac Yard Metro Rail Station. Put light rail on the Beltway. Light rail in Backlick, Braddock, Little River Turnpike, and build rail to Fort Belvoir. We need all of those. Build a new passenger rail tunnel under the Potomac. Install electronic signs at every intersection near the Virginia Rail Express. Build a dedicated passenger rail track for Virginia Rail Express and add 8 rail car trains to Metro Rail. All of these things will make us better, cleaner, more economically prosperous, and more of one community. We say no to wasting taxpayer dollars on billion-dollar boondoggle toll roads. Do not give away, folks, do not give away public property to private campaign contributors. No billion-dollar boondoggle toll roads on I-66. Cut the taxpayer subsidies to zero for big oil, big auto, and big asphalt. Almost $500 billion in tax subsidies go to big oil every day. $500 billion, according to the new book, Green Growth, Smart Growth by Ralph Fuchs of the Green Party, German Green Party. We need more trains, folks, less traffic. It's the positive solution. Rail saves lives. It pays for itself through economic growth. It makes money. Every dollar invested in rail creates over $20 in economic development. It increases the value of our homes, our businesses, our community. It creates revenue for our police, our fire, and our schools. The independent Green Party New Deal is for rail because it provides rapid evacuation in an emergency. Rail is also part of our national security solution. So as an independent Green Party candidate and a former U.S. Airborne Army officer, I want to salute the Green Party and all the other independent Green Party candidates. Thank you for your patriotism and citizen service to this land, its people, the planet we love. I'm Terry Modglin, independent Green Party candidate for Senate District 35, Commonwealth of Virginia. And thank you, Kerry.
Nice job, Terry. Of course, Election Day, folks, is November 3rd, and Terry Modglin will be on the ballot now. Annandale, the other areas that are that state Senate district includes Annandale, of course, my home, North Springfield, a piece of Falls Church. Did I cover all of them, Terry?
All the way down close to Tyson's Corner, the entire city of Falls Church, the Seven Corners area, a large part of the Mason District in Fairfax County. This district actually spreads across 5 magisterial districts in Fairfax County.
My goodness. Yeah. Now, Terry, let's give folks just a little bit more about your background, where you were born, where you grew up, and your education and professional.
Yeah, you know, I was born in St. Louis, Missouri, and grew up there. Was there through high school. Kind of, you know, rough circumstances early. The oldest of 8 kids. We were in public housing and even on welfare for a couple of years before my mom became a Head Start teacher for 25 years. Won a scholarship to Georgetown University, Foreign Service School. Engaged in a lot of activities there that were both some academic and some extracurricular. That
well, you're most famous that big election that you defeated the president. Tell folks what happened there.
Well, you know, in the sophomore year, in that particular student council, Bill Clinton was president. I was vice president, and we ran against one another for student body president at the end of the junior year for senior year, and I won. And so I think that, you know, I don't bring that up a lot today, but I say that it is, I think, you know, just to show I'm a determined person. I'm a structured person. If I have a clear agenda, focus, and goals, I make them work. I've done many things in my life, including that, where people said it couldn't be done, but with a lot of hard work, preparation, determination, we've made it happen.
So you came out of there in academically, your academic resume, you have a master's degree, is that right?
Master's degree from American University, which I earned with my GI Bill benefits.
And so your bachelor's degree was in what?
Foreign Service, History, Government, Economics.
And then the master's?
In Public Administration with a specialty in urban finance and urban politics. So.
Now, what year was it you went into the Army?
End of 1968. Height of the Vietnam conflict.
My goodness.
So I went through my airborne PSYOPs training and so on, and then to
we have that in common.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
Important. So I served a 20-month tour in Vietnam, and during that time I was a PSYOPs officer, a platoon leader, company commander, and so on. And went back with my unit to Fort Campbell in August of 1971.
In Kentucky.
Fort Campbell, Kentucky, and departed the Army in January of '73 in order to take a spot on the Committee on Merchant Marine and Fisheries in the House of Representatives, where I became the staff director for the Panama Canal Subcommittee. So during the time of the treaties and so on,
in those
days. It was
controversial,
very fascinating. Yeah,
and went on into the '80s election cycle, where the two parties fussed about that whole Panama poll issue.
The treaty passed by one vote, and the votes that it passed by probably some senators paid for. Yeah.
So you were right in the thick of that.
I was probably the leading staff coordinator of what they call the implementing legislation in the House of Representatives. So that involved a lesson in collaboration. You know, even though publicly the parties were far apart, and this is where I feel I have some talent. You know, behind the scenes we were able to work together to get something done.
That's amazing, and something that most observers would say that now, whether it's local government or the state legislature or the federal government, the U.S. House, this need for collaboration, this need for understanding compromise and being able to work together, perhaps there needs to be more of it. So you bring a resume with that.
When you know, saying I have the response to that, you know, as the pessimist laments the winds, the optimist expects them to change, the realist adjusts the sails. So you have to work with all parties and communicate. And I feel I have that ability.
Fantastic. How long did you work up on the Hill then?
8 years then. And
oh my goodness, that's a long tour.
Well, five years through that gritty issue, day and night, 7 days a week a lot of times. So after that, I ended up working with youth, which really has been was my career. Working with young people, middle and high schools, working with communities, mayors, and so on, all for the cause of crime-free, drug-free, gang-free, if you will, lives. And so that gave me, I worked in virtually, our programs were in 42 states. I've spoken in more than half of those states in training seminars or whatever. And, you know, I think I have a real knowledge of the country, but more than that, the inside of what happens in schools, for example, and in communities. So one of the things you realize out of this is the training of future generations has so much to do with the curriculum and the focus, and inertia rules all too often. So the new ideas that the Independent Green Party has, you know, they need to show up in the curriculum as well. And if they would, then we could fill a lot of the jobs that they say are not being filled right now, because we need kids, students to graduate with the skills to take them on. But so much, you know, we talk about passionate skills, you know, that when people make progress, they make it because they're having fun doing it as well. And so it's important that we talk about the inspiration, and I think young people are open to it, of having a cleaner, greener society, because there's so much frustration today, and the traffic jams, for example, just make you feel ignominious anyway. You know, I mean, as if you are nothing. Why? Because we're leading ourselves into paths that are counterproductive. So we need to inspire.
You listed a full slate in your opening remarks there on Green TV today. And folks, if you're just tuning in, this is Green TV, the show that focuses on independent Green Party and Green Party candidates and positive Green New Deal eco-jobs for the economy solutions. I'm Kerry Campbell. This is Terry Modglin. Terry's running for State Senate in the 35th District as the Independent Green Party nominee. The second time you've been a candidate, Terry. You ran for House of Delegates a couple of years ago, and we thank you for offering these positive solutions. Terry, elected to the State Senate, sworn in January of 2016. Let's say that happens. The voters hire you for that job. What would be the first 2 or 3 pieces of legislation that you would try to bring forward in the State Senate? What's most urgent in your view?
Well, I think in the big picture, what's most urgent is what we're working on here in the Independent Green Party, which is a realization of the need for more rail and for cleaner technology throughout the state, and to make Virginia, inspire people to make Virginia a leader in that. So that's important to me. The public safety, quality of life is important to me. Without good education and without public safety, you don't have a government that works. So we have to ensure that. And as you know, I'm passionate about the lives of all kids, including the unborn as well. So those are important things. And
you mentioned early when you started up the jobs, solar jobs, wind jobs, geothermal jobs, and all of the green jobs that come out of a walkable, bikeable, building a walkable, bikeable, pedestrian-friendly community. You mentioned the 4 million jobs that building nationwide high-speed rail would bring. And already the green jobs, again, in your remarks, you mentioned more people working in solar in Virginia right now, 11,000, than coal. That, of course, isn't discussed much, but we certainly get to it here on Green Party, Green TV. Now, we have some other candidates. Terry, if you could list them for us. Some of us tell about some of the other folks that are running, independent Green Party candidates running for local state office in 2015.
Well, I'm going to start, Kerry, with you.
No, well, thank you. Thank you.
And running for the Braddock District, and thank you for doing that, sir, for your service.
Great pleasure. You know, I love North Springfield. I've been there, I guess, 27 years, I think I was calculating it the other day. So almost half of my life I've been there, and I have that plus house that produces more energy than it consumes because of the 51 solar panels and the geothermal heating and cooling. I've been on the North Springfield Civic Association board and am now a member of the North Springfield Civic Association, a PTA, and have, much like you, I've worked in all the areas that you would expect someone to have done over 30 years, who's seeking this office for Braddock District Supervisor on the Transportation Council, co-chair Budget and Transportation Committees for Fairfax Federation of Civics Associations, former Vice President of Fairfax Federation of Civics Associations. So all of those things stand in good stead. It's the exact sort of work you do as a supervisor, and finding a word that we used earlier here, Terry Modglin, compromise, and finding out what the community can agree to, and moving forward. Who else do we have running, Terry?
I'm just going to sum it up in a word. Your work has been awesome.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Molly Leffler is an independent candidate for supervisor in the Mason District, endorsed by the Independent Green Party.
She did a great job at the Independent Green Party convention.
Great.
Did a wonderful job.
Great for Molly, working with her. Gail Parker, always there for us, always a leader in this state. Gail for Rail, as she's known, and
retired Air Force officer.
Yep, served
the only woman
the
in
country.
That's right. The only woman in history in the state to ever be on the ballot twice for U.S. Senate.
That's fantastic. So we all are in awe of Gail Parker. Erica Lawler is running in the 97th district in Mechanicsburg. Jim Leslie, Colonel Jim Leslie, a Vietnam vet, severely wounded in Vietnam. Marine pilot. He's running in 38th district in Annandale, which is
the only Native American Indian on the ballot for House of Delegates.
Wow. Paul McIlvain is in the 43rd district, is endorsed, I think, by the
Independent Green Party 43rd district.
Yeah.
What a powerful speech he gave at the Independent Green Party.
His anti-corruption remarks are
term limits, calling for term limits. The Green Party was founded on term limits.
Janet Murphy, who's been a candidate a number of times, and she's always there.
Wonderful lady, delightful. Janet Murphy, Independent Green Party candidate in the 47th district for House of Delegates, and a very proud. She just showed me the pictures last night of her new granddaughter, Evangeline. Very proud. Janet Murphy.
I've been with her in a number of forums, a number of the political forums that we've had. Brooklyn Kinley is running for the Arlington County School District, a young up-and-coming lady who...
Wonderful lady. Brooklyn Kinley, real estate agent, professional. Brooklyn Kinley, Arlington County School Board candidate for the Independent Green Party.
So Dr. Catherine Pettigrew is running for the...
Braddock District School Board. That's a neighbor in North Springfield. Dr. Pettigrew, a very articulate speech again at the Independent Green Party state convention.
And she's been a candidate before, as I recall, also.
Yes. State Senate.
Yes. I think in this the last time. Appreciate her service. Pete Marchetti, Fairfax County School Board at-large seat, running for that. Marissa Wisser is Fairfax County Clerk of the Courts.
Running there. There's Marissa with her more trains, less traffic, build rail now message. Marissa Wisser is also a historic Independent Green Party candidate this year. Marissa is the first Peruvian American to run for Clerk of Courts in Fairfax County. And so the Independent Green Party has its strong Latinas also on the ballot this year.
Planetary consensus. That's what
That's it. That's right.
Colonel Albert Burkhardt is running in the Isle of Wight Board of Supervisors, Newport District. And Corazon Foley is running in the Fairfax County Board of Supervisors, Springfield District. So
another great speech, Corazon Foley, at the Independent Green Party State Convention. Retired State Department employee, the first Filipino American to run for Springfield District Supervisor, Corazon Foley, and her husband, retired from the CIA. And Corazon Foley's speech at the Independent Green Party Convention was not only powerful, but it was funny, where she talked about the incumbent being very talented. She said he had spent $320,000 on his campaign by May of this year for a job that pays $90,000, and proving one thing, this is what Corazon Foley said, that he is very good at spending other people's money.
I ask you to vote for me, Corazon Foley, as your Springfield supervisor. It is time for change, for the incumbent is not doing his job, particularly for seniors like me. He failed to redress the unfairness, with other districts having 17 permanent senior centers, while Springfield District, none. Over the last 8 years, I founded and developed with county officials, churches, and volunteers the Burke West Springfield Senior Center Without Walls that was recognized with national, state, and local awards, including Community Champion and Lady Fairfax. We have petitioned for expanded activity space as our fair share of county resources and met with the incumbent on November 13, 2014. But all he did was say good words for the press, and then ignored our many requests to develop a working group for solutions towards Springfield Senior Center facilities. So, I am applying to do the job as the Springfield supervisor. I have the education, an MBA in finance, and public service experience. 30 years as an intelligence analyst with the U.S. State Department. I believe in good governance based on the rule of law, civil rights, environmental responsibility, and the market economy. I believe in keeping our taxes low and reforming mismanaged programs, like the Lorton Workhouse, for which he voted for $3 million more without requiring reforms, even after he himself criticized the $46 million of taxpayer money, our money already wasted. I am an independent Green Party candidate with no fundraising, spending $1,000 of my own money, money of my husband and me. The incumbent has raised over $400,000, and by May 2015, he had spent some $300,000, demonstrating to one and all that he is a big spender of other people's money.
Well, my opponent lost $653,000 and didn't know it. So people have made me promise to watch my my bank statements. You know. So.
Wow. How does that happen? We really haven't talked about that.
Positive,
Yeah, we focus on positive independent Green Party solutions, but that would be concerning,
to
it is. Say the least.
To go on, though, Priscilla Burnett is running in the 95th House of Delegates District in Newport News.
Priscilla E. Burnett chaired our Independent Green Party state convention. She was our chair of our convention. She is a retired law enforcement professional, and Priscilla E. Burnett is also a U.S. Army veteran like yourself, Terry Modglin.
Great. Steve Pusher is running for the Northern Virginia Soil and Water Conservation District Director. And one thing I want to say out of going from the candidate forums and so on is that because the soil and conservation districts and the school board is toward the end of the ballot, many citizens do not know what they're voting for. So it's really important for people to get educated. And one of the things I think that is so great about the Independent Green Party is two things I want to say. One, bringing a lot of candidates from the community. People who have worked very hard in the community and know the community inside out. And secondly, bringing to causing more activity, less apathy, bringing people to a better understanding of public policy.
Steve Pashore is a wonderful fellow, and he's a lot of fun, which is always nice. He came on Green TV and announced on Green TV right here, sitting where you are, that he was going to run. And we had just thought he was coming on the show to talk about the environment and talk about positive green solutions. So very, very brave. And he's funny, and unlike many candidates, Steve Pashore, really an IT professional, is a shy man. He's not someone who jumps out in front of the parade. but he has really done a fine, fine job. He's, attended the Northern Virginia Soil and Water Conservation District Director meetings, and is a great advocate for the good work they do there. Steve Boucher.
I think that would be a pretty appropriate choice, wouldn't it,
yes,
for the
sir.
soil and water
yes,
conservation?
Sir. Yes, sir.
Captain Ron Fisher, captain as a Navy Captain Ron Fisher, who's been a candidate a number of times, and a very learned man, very accomplished man.
Honors graduate from the U.S. Naval Academy, nuclear engineer, Hyman Rickover's Nuclear Navy, and the pride of Bemis, Tennessee, a small town in southern Tennessee that he describes as very much Frank Capra-esque, let's say. Captain Ron Fisher, a great independent Green Party candidate, running for state senate like you. You were in the 35th, Captain Fisher's the 30th district. So there we have brought you up to date. Now you brought with you today, Terry, one of your flyers. So there's a nice picture of Terry on the front of, there we go. There's Terry Modglin, the independent Green Party candidate for state senate.
Independent Green Party of Virginia, more trains, less traffic, fiscally conservative, socially responsible.
The biggest way people give up power is by not knowing that we have it to start with. Well, we got it, and we're going to use it. And it doesn't come from the big corporate political parties that are bought and paid for by Wall Street. Their choices are not our choices.
Their candidates are not our candidates. Their economy is not our economy.